Hey, this is Prashant, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how I took my opt-in page from a 25% conversion rate to 59 point something. So I'm rounding it off to 59% opt-in rates, and from 25 to 59, then how I make 2.5x more money because I get more leads, how I stopped using headlines and why I stopped using headlines on my opt-in pages, and how I protected my accounts against bans, right? Facebook is notorious for that. So that's what we discuss in this video. So let's get started. So the way I did it was I used this page, right? So this page is super optimized for cell phones, and this is how it looks. It's super simple. And the reason why it worked so well is because if the ad worked, the purpose of the ad is to get a click, right? So if somebody clicks on an ad and they come to your page and they don't opt in, it's probably because there was some sort of a miscongruence between the ad and the landing page, right? Other than that, it could only be that they changed their mind or the website didn't load in time. But a lot of times it is about the congruence. By using this page, what I did was I created congruence because the purpose of the ad is to get a click, and once they click, they end up on this page, which is super simple. Now, there are no claims that protects your Facebook ad accounts against bans because you're not making any claims, you're not hypey whatsoever. The only thing that you do is enter your details to proceed, which is super simple. There's only one action that they can take on this page. Then it looks like the Facebook ads lead form. If you see the colors that I've used, they are the Facebook blue, and I'm also collecting the names and the email addresses, and not just email addresses. The button text says proceed. So it's super simple, and because it's super simple, it is also very fast loading. It is optimized for cell phone because if you look at the platform that you're running ads on, if you run ads on Facebook, it's primarily going to run on two places. It's going to be Facebook and Instagram. Now, where do most people access Facebook and Instagram? Most of them run it on their cell phones. So we optimize the entire thing for the cell phone, and that's why we got more leads. More leads means more money. And now I want to show you what happened to my business once I started using this. I made 2.5x more money, and I'm going to show you the numbers, okay? So let's go back to the blackboard. So this is the old situation where if I drove 1,000 visitors on Facebook, I would pay maybe 1K to 1.5K for this, right? I drove 1,000 people to my opt-in page. About 25% opted in, which means 250 visitors. And then at a 4% conversion rate, because I use a call funnel and it just uses VSL, which is 8 minutes. It's not too long, it's not hypey, it's targeted. So it gets a 4% conversion to call booking page. People go from the VSL to the call booking page at 4%, so that's 10 calls, right? From the 10 calls that I get, 70% show up, and this is after they confirm with a checkbox that they will show up, right? So that's the world that we're living in. But this is still good. I've heard people get about 50% or 40% show up rates, and people don't even show up to their calls anymore. But we get a 70% by using this show up. So if you're using a call funnel, just have a checkbox that says I will show up for the call, and that just gives you that micro commitment, and people are more likely to show up. So out of the 70% and the 10 calls, 7 calls are done either I take the calls or the team does it, and then that results in 2 to 4 sales at 2,000 to different price points, upwards of 2,000. I only do high ticket, so 2,000 even isn't even a high ticket anymore. But that's what I start at. That's the basic pricing. So we make four to $10,000 depending on the price point. The average is right around. It is in the middle of. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, and I don't want to make any claims without really having solid numbers and a proof for all these numbers, right? But we make $4,000 to $5,000 spending this much, right? 1 to 2 grand in just traffic. And if you want to see how, just go to 22matrix.com. But that's a different story altogether. Now, let's see what the new situation is, right? So the new situation has made it possible for us to make even more money with the system that we have, the 22 matrix, right? So we spend the same amount, right? So let's say 1.5K to, from 1K to 1.5K, right? 1,000 visitors go from the opt-in page, right, to the video sales letter. Now I'm not changing anything. The only thing that has changed is this right here. Now, instead of 250 people, right, which was the old situation, 590 people go to the video sales letter. The conversion rate remains the same, so we get 24 calls. Out of the 24 calls, 60% show up. So what I have noticed is the show up rate has declined a little bit. Again, even if they use the check mark and confirm, but we're getting a lot more calls and it's hard to scale a sales team. So I'm okay with this for now, right? So 60%, that means we get 15 calls out of 24 calls that show up. That results in 5 to 7 sales or $10,000 to $20,000. That's instead of me making $4,000 to $10,000, I'm making $10,000 to $20,000. That's 2.5x more money with no extra work involved. And that's what I wanted to share with you here today because, if you make optimizations on any of these pages, right? So if you go from any improvement on the opt-in page and then you improve on video sales letters, the conversion rate, your video, the call booking page, or even the call close rate, it's not, the jump is astronomical and your business progress is much faster. So we're always looking for these tweaks in our business. This was something that worked and I thought I would share with my online family. If you like it, share it with your friends who would benefit from it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, will consider subscribing or liking this video. So I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.